Good morning. So, look, some of you might already work with me. Some of you might know me from the internet. And some of you might know me just because of my big and sometimes unfortunate mouth. But listen, I've got about 7.5 more minutes to save you potentially thousands of dollars, so I'll get right into it. What is a PM? Well, you guys are smart, right? You know what a PM is for you, but do you know what a PM is for your service provider? It's a way to get your reactive work. That's it. That's where the money is. Service companies, you can take your crosshairs off me for a second, at least until I'm done. But look, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to tell you the truth and give you some valuable tips to maximize your investment. So, how many of you out there put your PMs out to bid looking for the lowest price? Well, let me tell you something. Service companies intentionally bid low on PMs to remain competitive, knowing that they can make their money back through what? Quoted repairs and recommendations, right? Or in other words, additional R&M. You see the problem? You're practically telling these guys to look for ways to charge you money. What's more, low-dollar bids are going to get you low-dollar labor, yeah? You get what you pay for? Relax, I'm not here to tell you to go with the highest bidder, unless it's me. But I will give you some advice. And a couple $100 more spent could just translate into a couple $1,000 saved. So here it is, number one. Never, ever, ever, ever put your PMs out to bid looking for the lowest price. Instead, require answers to the following questions be submitted with the bid. Number one, what is your objective on this PM with this relationship? Just like you're talking to your daughter's new boyfriend, right? Except maybe without the shotgun. But listen, you're looking for an answer that suggests that they value aligning their objectives with yours or that they already do, because aligning objectives is the only way to ensure success in any relationship. How do you make a profit on PMs? Okay? This immediately shows that you understand that PMs are not a profitable service, and it'll allow you to gain some insight into how the vendor actually makes their money. Watch out for answers like, well, we don't worry so much about that, or if the lowest bidder comes back and says, we make money on the labor, right? No, look for tangible, well-thought-out answers that provide detail, because they're going to make their money somehow. And as a partner with aligned objectives, right, you should not only know how, but also support it. All right, what do your 3 best customers all have in common? Here you're trying to identify the vendor's true core values. All right, think about it. They pay on time. They value cash flow. They give us a lot of work. They value income. They treat our staff with respect. They value morals, company cultures, right? Obviously, these are just guidelines, okay? And there's no wrong answer per se. Just make sure you word the questions in a way that gives you the information that you need to know, so long as it's above and beyond the price. Number 2, do not furnish a task list without asking for input. Now, bear with me on this, okay? I understand that you obviously have a list of things that you need done on every piece of equipment, right? But just simply asking, hey, how can we improve this, is a way to initially show your vendor that you're willing to work with them instead of rule them with an iron fist, which is generally received a whole lot better. All right, and they may actually have some insight for you that varies from market to market. But then take it a step further and ask them to sign off on it, which most of you already do, right? But what happens is when you ask for their advice, their opinion feels valued. And any advice that you actually implement will make it that much easier to hold them accountable should anything happen. After all, they helped build it, and then they signed off on it. Number 3, and this is important, educate your operations staff. All right, we all know there's a disconnect between facilities and operations, right? Not a rivalry or anything, just a general lack of understanding most of the time. All right, but it leads to misconceptions and unrealistic expectations. Causes butting heads and phone calls you don't want and time you don't have and just unnecessary resentment between your vendors, techs, staff, and so on. Can we all agree that just this costs money in one way or another? Spending just a little time to educate your staff can go a long way in building a profitable relationship. Some common points to address: cleanliness. No, they're not there to spit shine the equipment and make it look brand new. They're there to maintain the functionality. All right, guarantee. No, PMs aren't a guarantee that nothing is ever going to break down. It will. How about this one, right? We've all heard it, ice machines. Yes, the tech is there to watch the ice drop. It's part of the PM. He's not trying to sabotage your operation. All right? If you want to even take it a step further, have your vendor actually do the training. Because the stronger the bond and the trust between them and your staff, the less your phone's going to ring and the less you're going to pay. Number 4, and ultimately the most important point that I'm going to make today, understand and appreciate, okay? Because when it all boils down to it, service providers just want to be appreciated, all right? From the techs all the way to the owners. Can I say, we're just a little bit sensitive, all right? But when we feel appreciated, they reciprocate, right? With quality work, timely service, discounts, incentives, and just an overall desire to keep that appreciation. All right, so just understand that what they do isn't easy. They see thousands of different pieces of equipment with hundreds of different procedures to follow. They work hours and in elements that would kill most human beings, and they do it all to make sure that they stay proactive against your R&M. A simple thank you makes them actually want to save you money. This is real stuff, I swear. I'm not just trying to improve your manners here. All right? So with that being said, let me close with a story. One of my very best customers is just that. Not because they generate the most revenue, they don't. And not because they keep all my techs busy, they don't. And not because they're the fastest pay. As nice as that would be, no. They're one of my best because to this day, the facility manager for that organization, who might even be in this room right now, is still the only one who has ever asked to be a part of my company meeting and personally thank all of my PM techs and field techs for everything that they do. The result, let me tell you, has been astounding. Those techs will travel to the ends of the earth and have to ensure quality results, effective communication, and just genuine care every single time they set foot on that property. They've seen a significant reduction in R&M. They're number 1 on our priority list for PMs and reactive, and there isn't a single invoice that I wouldn't rip in half if they so much as asked me to. And they have, and I did. So I ask you, can you get all of that by simply picking the lowest price from a list? Maybe. But how many times are you going to pay to find out? That's it for me.